Hey guys, Josh Ink here, creator of the DVRT Ultimate Sandbag System, along with physical therapist Jessica Bento. What we're going to talk about today is actually a really fun series about crawling and specifically bear crawling drills. Crawling has gotten popular recently, whether it's because you believe in cross patterning or just core and shoulder stability. Crawling does help people get stronger because of basically the time under tension. Basically, it's a moving plank. So if you like planks, you'll love crawling. But there's a couple of little nuances of doing it well. So if Jessica gets basically in her bear position, you want to have basically your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your hands, and when she elevates, see how she's got a nice flat back. A lot of people, they get in the bear position and they'll stick their hips way high in the air. You'll be like this, okay? The other thing is you don't want to sit back too much on your heels, okay? So you want to basically think about hips a little bit more forward so she can move her hands a little bit forward so she's got nice hips over knees and shoulders over hands. Now when you crawl, you're going to move in opposites. So that means right arm and left leg, left arm, right leg. So again, you can see where people have had some coordination loss and they start to try to move the same body part. It doesn't work very well. Now when people start moving, that's where you can see the hips come up again. You can see rotation occur. We don't want to see either one. Now, what a lot of people have done is they've gotten into crawling and then they've started wanting to use some of our bag drags, and you definitely can do so, but you got to do it right? Just like anything else. So Jessica's going to set up and show you how we do it right. So just like in all our lateral drag variations, we don't lift the weight up. She's going to make sure her pelvis is in the right position. She's going to corkscrew her arm in place and she's going to slowly drag the weight out in front of her, and then she's going to crawl forward. But see how her hips don't elevate. She sets up, braces, and pulls it forward. We'll come back, Jess. And then she can pull it back, but see how she's not rotating her hips or elevating her hips. And relax, good. So let's go over a couple common mistakes. One is where people just toss the bag out in front of them. So Jessica will do this one. So you don't want to see that. You're not trying to see how far you can throw the bag. Okay, that doesn't do anything for you. Remember, the drag works because it creates friction on the ground, which actually activates more of your muscle. If you throw it, all you're doing is getting like a front raise with your shoulder. It doesn't do much for your body. The other is when Jessica goes to drag, you'll see her elevate her hips really high. There, and all of a sudden she lost all the stability she created. So the key is, can you keep that quadruped position while you're going ahead and moving this ultimate sandbag out in front of you? So a couple things to consider. One is definitely start with a lighter USB. Probably a 10-pound core ultimate sandbag will work really well. And also be aware of the ground you're on. You'll find that some surfaces move better than others. So again, have that in mind when you're taking people through this series. In a moment, we'll show you a way to progress this drill by changing direction and pattern of the crawl. So anything that we go front and back to, we can also go laterally to. So the way we can introduce lateral movement, because lateral movement can often be more difficult to people, is a progressive movement to the crawling. So if Jessica gets in that knee and hand position, so now we're going to use the toes, but we're still going to be on her knees. What she's going to do is try to do a very slow, deliberate drag across her body, and we're going to move into bird dog. By doing this, we're trying to measure what type of anti-rotational strength she has and anti-extension. So that means not moving through the low back. If she can do this pretty well for about 7 to 8 reps each side, then we're going to move her into lateral drags with crawls. So if she starts the bag to one side, let's go and bend the knees into our crawl position, Jess. So she's going to get in that position, she's going to go and elevate up, and what she's going to do first is do a very slow drag, and then she's going to crawl to the side and do another one. See how slow the drag is? See how she doesn't elevate or rotate her hips? Let's come back towards me, Jess. That's what we want to see. What a lot of people will do, just like we talked about before, we'll show a couple bad reps in a second, Jess, is first people will toss the bag to the side. Again, we never toss the bag to the side. It doesn't do anything. In fact, it encourages the compensation we're trying to avoid. So let's just show just tossing the bag to the side, Jess, and let's show that rotation that usually occurs. Okay, that's what people usually do. Okay, let's come back for a second, Jess. Again, that doesn't do anything. All right. The second thing people will do is as soon as they lift the arm up to drag, they'll elevate their hips. All right, so let's just show that one time, Jess. Okay, you'll see a lot of this. And this even goes for our lateral drags from the extended knee position. So anytime you see the hips opening up or the hips elevating, you know you need to go back to some regressive drills. That's fine. We have those in place so that people can progress to these type of advanced movements. If you use these movements, which are fantastic, you need to make sure people are qualified to do them really well. If you don't do them really well, you don't get the benefit out of the drill. So again, we can do drags and crawls going forward and back. We can go side to side. It allows you a lot of fun variation, but use some of those bird dog variations and check out some of the links to our other videos to see some of those progressions, and come back for more free workouts and tips at dvrtfitness.com.